What's up, everyone? Welcome to another District Gooner Pod. It's your two favorite DC Gooners.
Howdy, we back in the lab. It's Steven and KP coming at you with the episode from the bench. We're in the off season. How we doing this week, man?
Good, dude. Good. There hasn't been a lot happening since we last spoke, so should be a short episode. Probably only gonna go an hour on the speed. For me personally, I've entered my cycling era. I got a little bike, dude. Definitely spent more money on it than I should have. I'll admit that immediately. Too afraid to leave it in the apartment garage, you know. So just keeping it here in the lab with us. And honestly, I got inspired because they were posting so many footage of the preseason, and the whole time the lads are just crushing bikes, dude. So I was like, I'll give that a try. Plus the Olympics are going on, so yeah, totally riding around the city.
Yeah, I was actually watching some mountain biking. It was like a women's competition. Yeah, biking through France. What's been in some big events for you? I've been watching a lot of volleyball. That's always fun. Beach and in court, always fun. I've been trying to catch a little rugby. Still don't know the rules exactly, but you know. Touchdown, you know, trying to figure it out, but it's been fun, man.
Dude, 100%. I turned on rugby the other day. Australia were like crushing this other country. It was women's rugby too. So it was like, oh man, this other team has just no chance. I don't think they know the rules, just like me. So, but it was fun. I enjoyed some table tennis. That was fun.
Yes.
Some pong action. I watched archery. They had an archery it was women. It was Korea versus Netherlands. And that was a lot of fun.
I did see that as well. It's been fun. I mean, all weekend, it's like you just can throw on anything. There's all kinds of stuff. I watched the men's basketball game, of course.
Oh, yeah?
The U.S. played. I'm into that. So put that on. But there's every little handball. Don't know anything about handball. I think that's a competition the U.S. has never even meddled in, is handball, because we don't do it here. But yeah, I'm trying to get the rules, what's going on, people flying in the air, throwing it. It's basically like water polo, but on a court.
Dude, handball is fun, man. Like, playing it is pretty fun. Water polo, I could never play that sport, dude.
Tough.
Just because I bet some dirty stuff happens in the water, dude. I would not be down for that game.
Tough. I've seen like after a game, you like play a certain country and their nails are long or something. They're all scratched up. Nah, couldn't be me. Can barely swim, first of all. So like get me in the pool, treading water and throwing a ball around. Nah, I'm just trying to survive at that point. Let me grab the edge.
Yeah, swimming's been fun. So it's funny, actually. The other day we were watching, me and my man partner, and she was saying that we were watching table tennis, and she made the comment that it'd be pretty funny if you're like have a dating profile, right? And you come across this person who's on their profile, it says they're an Olympian, like they're an Olympic athlete, right? And then they have their sport, which is table tennis. It's like, I don't know. Is that a right swipe or a left swipe? I'm not so sure, dude. I'm just not sure.
That is an interesting one. Because different countries, right? It's like obviously in like Asia, that's huge. Like they're so good at it. So you're a big time athlete if you're, one of the table tennis champions. But here it's like, it's just like, why ping pong? Like play tennis, man.
I think they said China has won the gold medal 32 out of 37.
Yeah, that's their thing, right? So if you're Chinese and you're playing, you might be a god. You might be considered a GOAT.
You ever watch that movie called Balls of Fury?
Yeah.
Hilarious, dude. That's a good movie. If you haven't checked it out, go and watch it. I don't know what streaming platform you have to find it on, but let's get back to the nitty gritty of stuff, man. The classic duo over here chatting Arsenal, everything Arsenal. The timeline's been popping. I told everybody who's listening, I can't tell you anything about the pod schedule. It will be dictated by when the news becomes official. We are recording on a Monday evening, a few hours earlier. It became official. What did they say? Benvenuto, Riccardo Calafiori.
Wow. Here we go.
Official, dude. Wearing number 33, 5-year deal. I'm pretty pumped about it, dude.
I am absolutely pumped. First one in the bag. Someone that's been... This took a while, no lie, right? This took a while. But it's good that he like stayed with it. I mean, there was the whole transaction issue with Basel and Bologna. That was an issue. But he only wanted Arsenal. He only had eyes for the red, which I love. But I'm excited. Got, 6 defenders now that are huge, big boys. Like, it's tough. It's tough.
It is, dude. And I think maybe in a little bit, let's talk about some comparison of like the back 6 options that were available to Mikel Arteta in 2019 versus the back 6 that's available to him now. But on the deal itself, yeah, look, I feel like this was the biggest sort of transfer saga of the summer. I don't feel that his performance in the Euros were what made Arsenal decide. I think it might have accelerated that decision. Yeah. But surely the club knows about these. Like, weird as the supporters, we find out about them during the tournament, right? No way they're making a decision based on that.
100%. There has to be someone that knows something. It's like Tomiyasu. Remember that was like out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Like, obviously they're watching. They watch ball. Like, they're watching ball. But I'm excited. Left back. I wish he could go on tour, no lie, just so we could get a little preview. Because it's almost going to be like Timber last year. Knew nothing of the guy. Got to see him in the Community Shield, like out of nowhere. Still don't know what he looks like, though. This preseason tour, though, he looking good.
Timber is looking good. Save that. Save all of that for the tour and some of the games that have already taken place. On Calafiori, I like the number 33. I'll be honest. I like when it's 2 of the same number. That, you know how I feel about sticks, dude. So I'm all about it. I don't know if I'll cop the jersey. Maybe I will. We got the Benny Blanco. We got the Big Gabby. Might have to just build out this back line that we got going on. And yeah, dude. I mean, is he going to play left back? Is he going to play left center back? He's joined up with the team in Philly, apparently.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah, they posted him at the training session. They had a video of him already entering, meeting the squad when they had their meeting in the morning. So that's pretty exciting. It will be cool if he gets any time against Liverpool on Wednesday.
100%. Hopefully Jorginho can throw out those introductions to the squad. I'd just love to see what he looks like. Pretty boys on the outside backs, boy.
Yeah, dude, that's fair, dude. Two boys with quarterback face playing outside back for Arsenal Football Club, dude. If you know, you know.
That's a great shout. Great shout.
So let's see, man. Let's chat a little bit about the big 6 that was available to Mikel Arteta in 2019. Here's who he had. He had Hector Bellerin. We had Chambers, Mustafi, Socrates, Kolasinac, and Tierney. And now we have Benny Blanco, Saliba, Tommy, Gabriel, Timber, Calafiori. And, 6 for 6. Upgrade, dude.
Bar for bar. It's easy, right? Like, if you go bar for bar there is a clear winner. Start in the back. Our midfield and our front line is great. But I think when you make a solid team like we have, you start with the back. These are all purchases basically under him, correct? Maybe not Saliba. I think we got Saliba as a guy, I guess, he's a kid, so we loaned him out. I want to say this might be all him.
I think it is, dude. I think it is.
Huge. And that is huge. That's when we sign someone, I think everyone's like, whether we know the guy or we don't, like, I trust him. Shit, you put these 6 guys in front of me? Yeah, I trust you, bro.
Yeah, dude, Mikel and Edu. Edu, by the way. Shout out to the big man. Big man on the grill, dude. Wow, Edu, I don't know what you're up to, man, but keep doing it. It's beautiful. I absolutely love it, dude. I think the one key takeaway about this transfer for me is that Arsenal Football Club has pool again.
Oof.
That's the bottom line, dude. Think about the teams who've come in for Calafiori towards the end there. They were saying Real Madrid came in for some chat. Juventus, which, by the way, so this piqued my interest. He will be the 5th Arsenal Italian player. There's a total of 10 Italian players who played in the Premier League last season.
Okay.
And I started doing some digging, dude, to see like how many Italians play in other leagues. These guys, they don't export players, dude. They let me see if I can just find this really quickly. Here it is. So in the Bundesliga, no Italian is mentioned in the top 20 nations represented. And the one with the fewest is Poland with 5. And then you look at the Premier League, there's only 10 Italian players, like I said. You look at Ligue 1 in France, there's only 6 Italian players that play. You look at La Liga, again, no Italian in the top 20 nations represented, dude. This isn't DGP exclusive, by the way. Let me put that out there. Mexico has 4 players represented in La Liga, and that's one of the fewest. And then in Serie A, of course, 299 Italian players. But these guys do not export players, and this is a gem that we've scooped up.
A gem. Do you have an inkling as to why that is?
I think that they're a very proud nation. Even when you watch their national anthem at the Euros, I think that alone kind of speaks to how much they like to play in Italy, and that probably gives them the best route to the national team, right? So that would be my inclination of it. And I also think it's one of those cases, like in Germany, if you are very good, Bayern come knocking and they scoop you up, right? In Italy, Juventus, they scoop you up, dude. The fact that this guy didn't go to Juventus is fucking huge.
Massive. We are gargantuan. That is huge. What I love about this is, so we just mentioned 6. So there's already 5 there. There's already 5 players there. So he's looking at left back and left center back position. And we have probably 3. And I'll even throw in Zinchenko as a 4th, right? And he said, no, I'll come. I'll come play for you. I'm going to play. In his mind, he's like, I'm going to win a spot. I don't want to go to Juventus. No, I want to go win something with Arsenal. To me, that's a mentality type thing. I'm excited for it. I think he's a big time player. Still young. Timber, same thing. Young player. No, I want to go play for Arsenal. I'm going to win a spot. I think he has that mentality, bro.
Yeah, that's a really nice call out from you. I wasn't thinking about it that way. And I'll be completely honest with you. Tommy was my one to watch last season. Unfortunately, he's already suffered an injury. Didn't get to travel with the team to the US. That already puts you behind, I think, in being picked by a manager like Mikel. And with this incoming, I think out of the 6 that we've named, Tommy is now the 6th defender.
That's probably fair. And I said this last season. When he's on, he's undroppable. When Tomiyasu is on, he's undroppable. He needs to be playing. But can he play? That's such an issue for him. I was thinking this the other day when I found out he got hurt, and I don't know how long he has left in his contract. But a player like Tomiyasu, let's just say he has 2 years left. He ends up playing, I don't know, 25 more games for us. Is he a player you would re-sign, knowing that this is his issue?
I would re-sign Tommy specifically just because he seems like a player who, to be fair to him, he does get hurt, but when he returns, he's ready to go. He's not one of those guys that returns from injury, and then now you have to wait a month for him to get into the team, and then you have to wait another month for him to get his groove. He's ready, bro. 1-on-1, I'm locking the guy down. I'm ready to go, coach. Put me in.
Does his job. Okay.
So, and I bet he's a great pro. He has to be a great pro. For the amount of times he gets hurt and he comes back, he takes his rehab very seriously. So, based on those things, I would re-sign him. But of course, if there's a year left on his contract, a good offer comes in with the depth that we've built, I also wouldn't be opposed, right? I'm not ruling it out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, good question, dude. That's a tough one.
I would leave it open. I think open-ended is possible. I just looked it up. 2026. So 2 years left on him. If you re-sign him, I think it would have to be contractually a good price. Hey, man, you only give us this output every year, but we love you. We love the way you play. And to your point, when you need him, he comes in and does the job, and he can come in off the bench. I like that where he can be our number 1 sub defensively. He's always going to come into a game and do the job. So I guess it's down the road thing, but it's interesting to think someone like Tierney, like I was ready to let him go. Like you can't play anymore, man.
Sure.
To your point, maybe it took him a while longer to get going. He's very one-dimensional type player. The team had moved past that, so he wasn't producing for us. Whereas Tomiyasu has already adapted to the style quickly. We know he's a player. Undroppable at moments.
He can be. He sure can be, dude. But maybe it's time to segue to a player who did get dropped.
Don't do it to him.
From Benvenuto to Arriverdici. Emile Smith Rowe. The boy who lived. On his way out, dude. This was my hot take for the summer, that Emile was not going to go, contrary to popular belief. Sometimes I like to make a little contrarian bet. Most of the time. All the time, actually. It doesn't work out in my favor. And here's another one, man. Fulham, apparently the deal is agreed in principle. 28 million plus 7 million add-ons. And I guess at the end of the day, grazie.
Grazie. I'll ask you kind of like how you feel about it. I'm okay with it, and I hope he excels there. I hope he does his thing. To me, I know we've kind of gone back and forth on this. To me, it was time to go. You need to go and play somewhere else. Get minutes. I think he would have a hard time getting into the squad. Arteta threw out some little teasers, like maybe he can come back, but it never really fully took. So I'm cool with it. I'm glad it's Fulham. We get to watch him in the Prem still. I'm kind of happy about that. I mean, when we play Fulham, obviously hope we beat them, but I hope to see some electric moments from him.
Yeah, Fulham, it's interesting. I think they have an American owner, I want to say. I think some part of their ownership is American.
Might be right.
And you think about Leno, Iwobi, now Smith Rowe. Little good working relationship there.
Yes, sir.
Developing. And I think it's a good deal. All in all, how I feel about it is mixed. I'll be honest with you. I feel sad that he didn't get to fulfill his dream, which I imagine his dream was lifting a major trophy at Arsenal Football Club. I think that's one of those things where growing up, a lot of kids, they dream about playing for their favorite club. I don't know how many of them dream about winning with their favorite club. And that was the big thing about Emile, that I don't know him personally, but I just felt like he played to win for the badge. And that was wonderful. So it makes me sad in that sense. On the other hand, I'm happy. I'm happy that we stopped spitting on the number 10 shirt. That means a lot to me. I couldn't go another full season with the number 10 being on the bench.
Uh-huh.
I'm happy that Edu is cooking, holding his ground, saying this is how much the player's worth, dude. People out here saying, what a great deal for Arsenal. Rival fans. It's like, dude, when you purchase something, you are paying for its future value. You are paying for Emile Smith Rowe to be a 10-plus goal contributor to your squad in the future. That's the future value. You're not looking back and saying, oh, he hasn't played for a season and a half. Well, he was hurt for like most of that season.
Yeah. And
you can't reflect on it that way. It's the future value of a 24-year-old English international who can bang goals and plays hard out. So fair deal. I'm happy with that. And now I'm a little confused. That's the third part. I'm confused about what's going to happen to the number 10 shirt, Steven.
That's where I was going next. Where are we going to go with the 10? Throw out some options. Odegaard. Could work. Number 8, though. I like him as an 8. I like the 8, so I don't want to give him the 10. You could throw in someone like Kai Havertz. No, 29. That's his number. He's going to stick with it. You could even venture out. Maybe I'm thinking about the wing players. Doesn't feel right. Are we going to pick up a new center mid at number 10? I don't know. But you know the chatter I've seen online that I kind of am like, I'm vibing with it. Nwaneri. Number 10. As he's been looking in the preseason, I'm with you. I don't want to see the 10 on the bench. I want to see the 10 on the field. I want to see it on the field. It's magical. Nwaneri, though, the way he's looking, I think that's a spicy option.
So I don't like it when players change their numbers when they already have a good number. Like Odegaard. As a fan, I'd be upset about having to go and purchase a number 10 Odegaard shirt. I just would be, right? And so with the newcomers, I mean, we'll see. I know they're center mids. Personally, I'm inclined to say no one wears number 10 for a season just to honor Emile Smith Rowe. That's where I'm at, dude. I think the best part about the Smith Rowe saga has been that online and just the fan base, the support, I think this is probably the only player I can think of in the last few years who has the absolute best wishes from the entire fan base to succeed.
Yeah.
That's a rare thing, dude. Number 10, like I said, I think give it a break for a season, dude.
That's probably what's going to happen, like, in reality. I don't think anyone's going to wear it this year. Nwaneri is number 10 for England. And, like, the under whatever he plays, under 18s, under 20s, whatever he plays, he does wear the number 10. I saw that, and after watching some of these preseason games, like, that's a good shout, man. Keep it within the club, another academy boy that we love. That's a good shout. But this year, I just can't see a number 10 for Arsenal. But maybe we don't need one either, to be honest. Maybe we don't need one.
I agree with you. Maybe we don't. And yeah, it would also, the thing about it is, like, it has to be a blockbuster signing to get that 10 shirt, I feel like. I mean, the guys we've been linked with, they're good. Are they number 10?
Absolutely. They wouldn't give the 10 out just like that. Of course not. Let's take a year off. Let's see what happens, and we'll come back at you in 2025.
Back at you. We'll be here. You know, a lot of people thought maybe this podcast wouldn't last as long as it has, but here we are. And guess what? Season 2 is loading, baby. It's in the background loading. Let's chat some preseason, man. Obviously, the Arsenal are in California. They were for the last 2 games, and now they're moving to Philly. Played against Bournemouth, 1-1. They did the penalty thing at the end. Arsenal won on pens. Manchester United was over the weekend. Beat them 2-1 regular time. Did the pens thing again. Pens went to United. Some funny stuff with Onana. Did you see that?
Yeah, he's wilding out.
What a clown, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's in his character, right? Like, I think he wants to be, Martinez so bad. Like, what are you doing? That was wild. I liked Fabio Vieira staring him down afterwards. Like, what are you doing, big man?
What's the matter with you, dude? This is why your club's being laughed at.
Yeah, exactly.
This is literally why your club's being laughed at, bro.
That's why you're being laughed at constantly.
Get it together. Before we talk about the action, dude, I wanted to ask you this. I've seen a lot of talk over the last couple of weeks about hosting a Premier League game in America, and some of the fans just freaking out about it. Whatever. What's your general vibe check on playing Premier League teams in preseason?
Ooh, that's a good one. You went a different direction than I thought. But personally, I don't like it. I'd rather they play, a La Liga team, Bundesliga. I would just prefer that. I think that'd be more exciting. Like Bournemouth, we're going to play Bournemouth later. United, I guess, is this just the capitalism? I'm sure that brought in a ton of money in that game, but like, why can't Barcelona or even Milan, like some of the Italian teams? I think that would be a good shout for US fans to go see it. I would prefer not to do it. I think it's kind of lame.
Absolutely, dude. I personally get no pleasure out of watching these preseason games. I watch it for the boys just to see how we're doing, but the game itself, it's also borderline dangerous to play these rivals in preseason. I think we've seen that last preseason. Yeah. Martinez trying to take out Saka before everything even starts. And then this preseason, 2 of their players got hurt. Their new signing for Manchester United, Euro, walked off limping. Højlund walked off limping. Rivalries can be just taken seriously at any time in the season. And, dude, we played Liverpool, we played Manchester United in a regular season with domestic tournaments. We're going to end up playing these guys 4 times.
Exactly. That's why I don't like it. It just doesn't make sense. Money-wise, I guess
it's
that's
fully
why.
Economical. It has to be.
Yeah. And I guess welcome to America. Like, it's all about the money. I thought you were going to throw it in the direction of like having Premier League games here, which I've seen again this summer, maybe because there's nothing to talk about. It's like, oh, regular season matchups in the US. Terrible. That's a terrible idea.
Terrible idea. I'm with you.
Don't
Two
let
Americans. Stop it.
Do not let us infect the game. Please do not let us do this.
Dude,
it's bad.
And we've just talked about how economical these decisions are. And to get a Premier League game that matters in the US, that is peak consumerism. Yes. And I don't want it.
100%. And I get NFL having games overseas because it's the blockbuster sport here. There's so much money around it. Like, that's fine. Go have a game in Germany. As an American fan, I don't care. But do not bring a game over here. You don't want it, okay? You just don't want that. You don't want to live this life.
Dude, it's just going to be a bunch of spectators, man. Most of those games will end up in draws. It's not going to have the same atmosphere. It's going to mess up the entire routine of anyone. Just the jet lag alone to play a game, the travel, the coordination. You're doing too much, dude.
Exactly.
And you're taking away the special feeling of watching a game at the Emirates. Not everyone gets to do it. That sucks, right? Maybe once in your lifetime, as an American fan, you also get to do it. Maybe 2 if you're lucky. But it's not something you're doing every holiday, taking a trip to England and going to a game. And it ruins that experience, I think, slightly. It takes the aura away.
100%. And I think the Prem has gotten such a pull from the American fan, getting it on a primetime network. They market it really well, I think. They've gotten commentary that makes sense. The Rebecca and the 2 Robbies, like, people know who they are. They do the fan fest things.
Yeah.
They're doing enough here. Having the preseason games, if that's the lesser of 2 evils, like, yeah, we'd rather play another European team, but like, yeah, that's the lesser of 2. Just do your preseason with United, Liverpool, City, whoever the big teams are. That's fine. But do not tell me you're having a regular season game. Great point. Selhurst Park, Craven Cottage, like those types of stadiums. Yeah, they might be smaller in stature, but it's just the atmosphere. That's what the game is about. You put it here in our big stadiums like SoFi, you go to put it in Dallas, the atmosphere is going to be terrible. It's spectators. Yeah, we watch to just actually see the game. We'll cheer when there's a goal, but no, the atmosphere will be terrible.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, half the people in the stadium wouldn't even know to play a chance. That's just the bottom line. The coordination of all these, you know how many fan clubs there are in the US? There's not like just, what are they called? The Ashburn Army?
Yeah.
There's not just like 1 or like 2. There's the Philly Arsenal Club. It's the classic, dude. Every state gets its own little Arsenal club. So you're just doing too much, I think. Let's talk about some of the action, huh? That's enough blood pressure and anti-capitalism chat for one day. Did you watch either one? You watched both?
Yes, I watched parts of both. I didn't watch the entire game of either. I think we should just go through some of the players. I think that's the important part, is go through the players. Someone that I think really stood out to me instantly, Timber. Instantly. I've already said his name 10 times. Instantly, dude. Like, this dude's a baller.
I'm excited. In the new season, we'll have to initiate a Steven Timber word count, you know? Mention count. We'll have a Steven cam. We'll just set up a Steven cam, dude, that captures those.
I mean, he just looks, the physical presence I think that he brings, the way he looks on the field, I'm just loving it. Quick, the way his hips are turning. I know there was one in the Bournemouth game where I think he almost got done. Like, we're going to bust past. Nah, he just like kind of went down, took the ball off somebody. Like, that was incredible. Huge one from him. Nwaneri.
Let's stay on Timber.
Okay.
Let me tell you a little bit about Timber, dude. I've also really enjoyed his play. And here's my hot take for this season. One hot take. I think at some point we will see William Saliba playing left center back and Timber playing right center back.
The French, just like he did for France.
Just like he did for France. I'd like to see it, at least personally.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see that.
I wouldn't either. That makes sense.
Maybe it's not a hot take. Shit.
I mean, it seems like that makes sense to me. Our best player, or our best defender, is Saliba. And then it would be between, I guess, Timber and Big Gabby, like you're saying. And it's It doesn't even have to be. It could just be for a game, right? Or different games, different look. Yeah, play Timber at right center back.
Dude, next season, we are not... There's going to be so much rotation.
We have 6 big men in the back, bro.
We are not going to have a sort of best team sorted out until March again, I think. Until we get 10 games left, and then you just see a repetitive squad because there's going to be so much rotation. That's exciting. Okay, sorry. Go on. You were talking about our boy Ethan.
Nwaneri. Impressive. He looks really, really good. I do like that he's kind of small. He gives me kind of like Santi vibes, I want to say, how small he is. But he also is keeping the ball really well. He looks very composed. When he gets the ball, he looks very secure. Some of the other kids, I know that center back, Heaven, like he's just not as with it. This dude, like I think he's going to play for us. That's like, call it a hot take. I don't think it's a hot take because I think it's going to happen. He's going to get minutes this year.
That's true. I think watching him, you can tell he belongs.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line, is he belongs. And you even saw it last season. Remember that game, how excited you were that Odegaard was like passing it to him?
Yeah.
And making him like, nah, dude, you can play. Here's the ball, dude. And that's the vibes we're getting. It's interesting. He's been playing the left 8. He's played the right 8. They're saying he can play winger.
Yeah.
So he should get a good amount of time, especially, I mean, Smith Rowe now out the door. Who knows? Nelson. Who knows? Eddie. We'll see. It's pretty exciting. And it's funny you mentioned he's small because I've gotten the impression that he's pretty thick for a young man.
I would say he's thick, but yeah. But he's short. Like just on the field, he looks small. But yeah, he kind of, I'll say his name again, kind of reminded me of Timber.
That's 12. That's 12 on the pod, dude. No, that's funny, man. Haven, yeah, it's nice to see we have a 17-year-old center back just in the academy who looks like that and can play. And I think he's had some rough moments, but those are just growing pains as a center back that you have to experience. Hasn't really played against sort of, top strikers. So, yeah, he's going to get exposed a little bit. I think he had a tough time against Solanke a little bit. He had a tough time against Hoyland. But, hey, those guys have a little bit more quality than him right now. Have you seen this guy, Nichols? It's a really small, skinny dude. Plays outside back, dude.
No.
Oh, my gosh. His mom was in the stands in one of the first game against Bournemouth, and they posted this video. It was so sweet, dude. His mom was so happy. He's like, that's my son. After the game, he was just chilling with the fans. It's really great. He's got to hit the gym. That's the bottom line for him. If you're listening, Nichols, get in that gym, man. This guy Salah, have you seen anything? He's been talked about a little bit. He's another center mid. Tough, man. Tough to get in this team with these center mids. But for a fan base who's constantly complaining about the manager not giving youth a chance, I think it's nice to see them during preseason. And at the same time, I would just remind the fan base that, look, we have a 17-year-old Haven, but we got a 22-year-old Italian international willing to come to the club.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do? You're going to go and get that signature, dude.
That makes it tough for any of the young dudes coming up, 100%. I liked, he's playing left back, Lewis Skelly.
He's had a good tour.
I like the way he looked as well. So I'm hoping he can either get minutes or at least get a nice loan deal somewhere. I think there's a lot of promising players. So you threw out Salah, anyone else? Even on normal, I think Jesus has been playing. I think he's looked pretty decent.
Jesus,
you want to give a shout out to anybody?
Jesus has looked fit. He looks lighter on his feet. It's exciting to have a player like him. And this is the thing, your recency bias kicks in and you're crying out for a 9. It's like, this guy's pretty good. This guy's not bad, He's definitely better than Doku. I'll tell you that right now. Other players, I think Nelson has had a good showing during preseason. He had a decent game against Bournemouth. The big one, Steven, who I think is going to be under a lot of scrutiny this season, is Fabio Vieira.
Mm-hmm.
He's had, I think, a mixed tour. He scored that nice volley against Bournemouth, but it just doesn't seem like he's on the same page as everyone else. Not getting the same vibes with Benny Blanco, the overlaps. I don't know, man. I like him. I think there's a player there. But with Emile leaving the club, for me, it was down to those two players.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, Fabio, I better see some goal contributions this upcoming season. Otherwise, I wouldn't be surprised if you're gone next summer.
That's it. Got to have contributions coming up. It was always going to be one of them too. So we made the decision. Paid big money. I mean, we bought him for like 30, I believe.
Yeah, good amount.
So you could compare that to what we just sold Smith Rowe for. One thing I would say for him is like, I don't know exactly where he's going to play. That's his issue. I was hoping we'd see him in the preseason and he put on 15 pounds of muscle and just looks different, his body, but he looks the same. I agree. Great player. Like, he looks like he can be a great player technically. His left foot, excellent. But I don't know where he fits in. Does he fit into that Odegaard spot? But when is Odegaard going to be sitting? Like, how often? Not much, right? He's going to be playing almost close to every game. Can he fit into that spot? Maybe that's the look this season. I don't really like him on the wing, personally.
I agree with you. I don't really vibe with him on the wing, dude. He does not stretch us. No. He does not stretch us. And when he comes back, it's very often defenders right on his heels. Doesn't receive it well. It's very likely to get clipped away from him, or he has to just go backwards. And yeah, dude, I mean, maybe he'll play some sweet balls to our strikers who's stretching us, but I'm not seeing the value add on the pitch right now.
There you go. And one thing I will give a shout out to is maybe the left back is solid now. I think an issue was Zinchenko at left back. Your left center mid had to have more of a defensive presence. Maybe with this dude, you could put him at that left 8 and it could be a little different. It's just a different vibe, different energy. He doesn't have to have the defensive presence because he's got a big Italian behind him. So I'll give that a shout. We'll see what they're cooking.
We'll see, dude. I think Fabio, where's the game time going to come? I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I'm totally with you. A player who just returned to camp and played immediately and made an impact was Martinelli Hive, dude. Where you at? Rise up, dude. The sun is shining on us in California.
Came on as a sub. Big goal. What you think this year? This has to be the year. We've talked about him quite a bit. This has to be a good year for him. Has to.
It does. And for anyone who's like, he's back. It's like, I don't even know who the outside back was for United that he toasted.
Cooked him, yeah.
I don't know who the center back was. I know Onana. I wasn't expecting him to save it. But, relax a little bit. I'm glad that he showed up, prepared to go. I'm sure he was upset a little bit that he didn't get any time in Copa, really. So it's tough, dude. He's definitely one who, you know how I feel about it. I just saw Nico Williams turn down Athletic Bilbao. Turn down Barcelona to stay at Bilbao. So there is a lot of players out there. And I'm not discounting what we have. I know what we have. Mr. Just Wide. So I hope it can go in the net for him this season. And he has to score more than 10 goals next season.
What a huge disappointment from him. And I am hoping his confidence isn't shattered, basically. Because I think if he can have the confidence, he can absolutely bag us 10 goals, no problem. He just had a really, really tough go last year. I think that's what it comes down to. Remember, what was it? December, I think he had 2 goals, something like that. Just a terrible turnout. Plenty of chances. Mr. Just Wide. He had plenty of chances. I'm hoping the confidence is there. Dude's electric, man. 1v1, he can be electric. Decision making, we've always kind of gone on about that, but he can be that direct. Comparing it to Sock on the other side, who's gets everyone involved, can cross the ball, can score. Martinelli's just direct, right? He's going to blow by his man, either throwing a ball as hard as he can. Maybe you got the Thierry Henry far post finish. I'm hoping he has a good year. The last player I want to give a shout out to, though, bro. What's your take? Goalkeeper, Karl Hein. Give it to me.
Karl Hein, dude. This is another thing that I think as a supporter, you can just overreact to things that are happening without knowing what we have in the bag already, dude. I can't tell you anything about Karl Hein before this summer. I just knew he was like part of the squad, right? But it's great to see the shot-stopping ability that he has. That's been great. Seems like his positioning's good. Big guy. Yes, he can improve with his feet. Who can't under a Mikel Arteta regime, honestly. But overall, it's been pretty impressive, and it's exciting. Like, we have him. We've got Tommy Stetford now. Maybe another goalkeeper comes in, but it's nice to know that we've got some quality brewing. It's maybe not ready yet to pour it in a pint, but it's brewing.
The big saves surprised me from that Bournemouth game. I saw him make a few stops. It's like, damn, like this feet got to improve 100% under a Mikel Arteta army. 100% has to improve, but the stops, just like give me those Bernd Leno vibes, man. Didn't know what this dude had in the bag. Got Stepford, Ramsdale. What's in the atmosphere for this dude? I've heard no chatter at all.
Dude, this is a thing, Steven. I was thinking about it today. So, I mean, it's Monday. It's July 29th. By the time this drops, it's probably Tuesday, July 30th. The first game is against Wolves on August 17. So, it's just 17 days away, dude. A little more than 2 weeks. The business has to start picking up, especially if, I mean, some of these Premier League teams, your preseasons are starting to wrap up, dude. Do you want some new players or not? And are we getting some more business done or not?
Yeah, I mean, I would hope at least a loan for the dude. I can't see him on the bench for another year. That'd be very sad for him.
Well, I'm sure it's not amazing, but at the same time, it's like you're just an injury away from that spot. I think you have to be ready constantly, and I don't think it's going to... I think he's a good pro, I imagine. I think he should be good.
We're talking about two different players here, man.
Who?
I'm talking about Ramsdale.
Yeah, I'm talking about Ramsdale too. You said you can't see him on the bench. I can see him on the bench, dude.
You said he's a good pro? Of course he's a good pro. I thought you were talking about a young kid. Dang.
I mean, I think so. We'll see. I haven't really watched that many training sessions of him live, but I can see him still being on the team and having a role. I mean, if he does stay, surely he plays all the domestic cups.
Yeah. So
if that's the deal you cut, that's like, all right, well, you're here now and you're going to play all the domestic cups.
I don't want to see that just for him.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Emile Smith Rowe thing. I think he's very fond to us. Like,
I wouldn't be as sad if Ramsdale leaves. I was quite sad with Emile.
100%. I'm with you. Smith Rowe hit diffy, bro. Well, we're gonna remember the Smith Rowe years, man. When he was 20, bagging goals, saving Arteta's job. We remember where you were.
remember, bro.
But Ramsdale is different because he was also part of that elevation of the team. Huge to the fans. It's just sad. It's like seeing someone like a shell of themselves, right? That's the way I see it. It's like the shell of himself on the sideline. That's not who he is. He's loud. He's boisterous. I'd rather just let him go somewhere and let the Karl Hein or the Stepford, whatever, anyone else really, let the man flourish.
It's tough, dude. It's tough with a goalkeeper because, I mean, you just look at Zinchenko, you look at Kiwior. How different is this situation with Calafiori's arrival than Raya's arrival? Not that different.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the goalkeeper is like a tougher, right? Their chances of playing are just significantly reduced at that point.
We've talked about this so much last year. I wanted Raya. Like, I wanted that.
Yeah, I know you did.
I'm just saying for the man's sake. Once the first game starts and he's on the bench, I don't really care that much. I'm just saying until that happens, I hope there's a team out there that can bag him.
We'll see. I've heard some stuff about Southampton as a potential destination for Ramsdale. So we'll see what happens. On the tour, a player who has just lost zero touch of class and turned up. I mean, I have to ask you this, Steven. Do you think it's coincidence that player of the season, Martin, labeled Goategard, comes in with a goatee to America? Like, Martin, have you been listening, bro? Is that why you're rocking this? He's looking a little old, dude.
Fan of the pod. I think he's a fan of the pod. He looks like he's aged like 5-6 years. He looks like a 30-year-old vet. He's looking weathered with it, but I mean, yeah, he is that dude. Like, he's just the dude, man. You see him get on the field and then he starts touching the ball. It's incredible. Like, he's the class above. He really is. All of those class players on us, he is a class above.
Yeah, dude, it's
insane. It's crazy.
It's different, bro. I think game against Bournemouth, I think he did some saucy stuff, dude. Some 1-2s and stuff against United. He was pressing, dude. Like, he was pressing like, this is real, big man. I'm out here. I'm chasing you down.
It's just too easy for him. Like, he's like, this is too easy. Let's actually play. He is a class above. Big things from him this season. I mean, every year he's gotten better and better. I don't see that changing, to be honest.
No. And I really hope he keeps the shirt, number 8. Anyone else to shout out during this little preseason sesh that we've had?
That's all I got. Want to move to some transfers, though?
Yeah, let's do it. I can't think of anything else either. Obviously, there's still interest for Nelson, and there's still interest for Eddie. Eddie, I want to start with Eddie, dude. The clock is ticking, like I said. August 17th, right around the corner, dude. What if he stays? How do you feel if Eddie is still an Arsenal player come the end of the transfer window?
I guess I'd feel the same about Ramsdale. It's like, I want him to go, and it's just, he needs to go play, because guess what's going to happen? He's not going to play. Maybe some domestic cup action like Ramsdale. I just don't see him playing, so I would rather go. He's young, man. He's just too young to be sitting on the bench for us. I do not see him playing.
I thought if he plays the left wing position. That's the only position I can see him putting in a shift. Maybe. If he can get his defensive work up a little bit. But Eddie is not playing striker for this club where we are now. He just can't do it, dude.
He can't.
He can't do the sole center forward / striker role. I bet you Eddie is a really good player in a 2-striker system.
Oh, yeah.
I can see him just tearing it up with another striker, little 1-2s, little flicks, little runs in the channel. I bet he will thrive if a 2-striker system comes and picks him up. But in the role that we need him to play, he can't do it.
Can't. I've said this last year. I still think it's true. And I remember being like hot at the time, like, why isn't anyone seeing this? Or like, why is the coaching staff not seeing this? There are 3 strikers better in our team than Eddie Nketiah. He's the 4th in line. He's the 4th string for the system we play. I think that's what you just said is perfect. In a 2-striker system, I think he's a killer. Like, that's what he does. He's a poacher. Fox in the box. But for us, you got Jesus, you got Kai, you got Trossard. I think all 3 of them play the 9 better in this Arsenal team than him.
And can I tell you something else, dude? I think Martinelli should see some time at 9.
I think he could.
So, yeah, no, I'm totally with you. I hope Eddie goes for Eddie's sake. Like you said, fly, Eddie, fly. And we'll see, man. Nelson, I'm not sure. I hope it's the same thing with Nelson. But I would be more inclined, and I can see Nelson getting more meaningful time during the season.
That's crazy. But it's true. For as much as Eddie played for us the past 2 years, played a lot. He played a lot for the team, and then I think eventually just kind of fell off because the progress wasn't made. Whereas I think Reece Nelson's trending in the other direction. Hasn't got a ton of minutes, but the minutes that he's played, he does the job. He's never putting in the 8, 9, 10 performance, but he gives you the 6. And I think sometimes all you need is the 6. Reece, go out there, put in some crosses, bring it back to Ben White. That's what you need to do, and run back on defense. All right, I got you, coach. And he does it. So I would be more inclined to keep him. Play the domestic game. If God forbid Saka goes down, like he could get you some minutes, put in the 6 performance. So I hope he does go. I would say that again. I'd like to see him go. But if not, of those 3 players we just mentioned, Ramsdale, Nketiah, and him, he's the one I'd prefer to keep if need be.
100%, dude. There has been numerous links with center midfielders, right?
Ooh.
Which, by the way, I'll say this. I think, what was it, before the transfer window started, I said I wanted 4 signings.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 2 in the bag, right? Raya and Calafiori. And I think you said you wanted 5. And if you count Stedford as the extra goalkeeper you wanted, we're both just waiting for a center mid and a forward to come in.
Has to be, but does this change things that we lost? Let's say with the Smith Rowe exit, do we need 2 center mids?
No.
You don't think so?
No, dude. Because honestly, one of the things that I keep thinking about is come the game against Wolves, I think it's going to be TP5 on that starting sheet, dude. People are forgetting about him. I'm forgetting about him. I want to forget about him. but he's there, man. And I think he'll play. He had some shaky moments against Bournemouth, but thankfully, it takes him like 4 games to get going. And I think like 3 are out of the way.
I would be good with getting... I would look forward to getting 2 center mids, man.
So no forward, 2 center mids you would prefer? Because for me, it's still 1 center mid, 1 forward. I still want a forward.
Winger or striker?
Winger. I want a winger. I still want a winger. It's probably not in this market, dude. It's probably not going to happen. The striker, I really doubt we get a striker.
No, we're not getting a striker. No nines. It would have to be the winger. Your boy Nico, he's not coming. So that's kind of sad. I always had my fingers crossed for that one. I kind of just a little side eye action. But two center mid. So Marino, we know about him. Older dude. And by older, like 28, older in Arsenal standards. Do the job. He seems like a player that would slot in instantly and can do it. But there's whispers.
What are they saying, Stephen?
Fabian Ruiz.
Fabian.
That's the one, man. If we could pick that dude up, that could be a season-changing signing, in my opinion.
That seems like a far-fetching rumor. I think it's like a proper rumor, dude.
We weren't gonna do this, huh? We weren't gonna do this until we saw Fab.
I haven't seen Fab on the timeline about that one. But man, juicy. I think I called him out to you during the Euros, and we were watching one game, and then we started to like look at his involvement for PSG. He's been there for 2 years. He's played like a little more than 10, 15 games for them. He's not a consistent starter, and I was very impressed with him at the Euros. I want him over Marino just because I know more about him. No disrespect to Marino, still gonna welcome him with open arms. But, I think both of these players are in the portfolio of a player you were looking for, right? You were saying that go out there and get a 28-year-old who's just going to give you his body for the next 3 years. I mean, Marino, does he expect to go to the World Cup in 26 with Spain? I doubt it. Does Fabian still think he can get in and be a starting center mid for Spain in 2 years? I don't know. A little shaky, right? But are they willing to sacrifice their body and put in some tackles and go all out for the next 2 years for your club? I'm very intrigued by it.
And I also think, I want to say flip side of that, you come to Arsenal and you're a starter. Maybe you do in 2 years. Maybe you are in this. You keep your spot, Fabian Ruiz, right? You just said he didn't play much for PSG, which I didn't know that. I didn't realize he wasn't playing that much, which that could be a game changer for him. Like, you come play for us, be a starter, win us some titles, get some trophies. That would be cool. 28 years old for both of them, 30 when the World Cup comes around. I like it. I don't want to say too much about Fabian Ruiz. This is one of those, I don't know who put the chatter out, whether you love saying this. Maybe they're just putting Arsenal's name in there because he's trying to get a contract. He's trying to get a move somewhere else. And they just love throwing in Arsenal. But I would love to see it, man.
Me too. And I just checked, dude. I mean, in 22-23, he joined PSG. He played 21 games. And last season, 23-24, he played 14 games. I mean, he started 14 games.
Fact check on the pod.
Is that enough for him? I don't know, Fabian. I mean, come through, but we'll see. Marino, let's chat about him a little bit, right? What does it mean? I really think if we sign a Marino, it's TP5 and Declan Rice on the starting sheet, dude. I think that's it.
I think Rice is going to end up playing the left 8 this year. That's probably correct, man.
I can't see it being any other way. Right now, with the players that we have, TP5 has to get time. J20, he's got to get time a little bit. Marino, they saying he can play 6, 2. So, but does he start? You were saying he's immediately a starter. I don't feel like he's immediately a starter because I've seen enough to say TP5 is going to be on that sheet, big man.
See, I was not including Jorginho and Partey. Those are just not the sexy options, you know? Those are just not the I don't think Marino's a sexy option. Fabian Ruiz? Woo-wee, come here.
It's getting hot in here. Yeah. The AC on?
So if we're just playing hypothetical games, which is fun. We love this.
I mean, we're near an hour on the beat, so let it keep cooking.
Left 8, Fabian Ruiz. He comes in. We buy him. Does he slot in automatically into your left 8, Rice at the 6?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I think so, yeah.
That's a sexy option.
That's the difference, I guess, in the 2 signings, yeah.
Thomas Partey got a year left, I think. Jorginho, does he have a year left? That's why I'm saying get the 2 of them. Pick up Marino, and you pick up another center mid, Fabian Ruiz. You got 2 of them for the next couple years. 28, they can play, I don't know, give them at least 3-4 years.
Yeah.
That's as old these dudes are now. Like, why not?
Yeah. Well, let's keep the Spanish center mid talk. Let's put a little lid on it until we see more on the timeline.
We're getting ahead of our skis a little bit.
Yeah. Put a pin in that for me. There was another news that broke, kind of transfer related, I suppose. Manchester City's elite development squad analyst Darren Rogerson is leaving the club to join Arsenal's first team. The Athletic broke this news, and I feel like there's a little trend brewing here. I mean, put this guy aside. It's pretty exciting to get him. I don't know what kind of relationship he's had with Mikel, where he came from. I'm sure he's a very talented person. But it seems like people are seeking some, what do you call it? A life vest or one of those, like, what do you call those boats that are on big yachts, like, to just
a lifeboat.
A lifeboat. There we go. Right next to it is the life vest, of course. So people are seeking some lifeboats in the. Oh my gosh, guys! I have to be honest with you. So I'm looking at my apartment's rooftop, and a patio mat. Yeah, a cushion just absolutely flew over the top. This is an 8th floor building, so hopefully it doesn't land on anyone in the street. That's dangerous. It's windy outside. It's my observation. But how do you feel about these City guys kind of jumping ship?
Jumping ship for the life raft. I like it. I don't really have much. I don't. I know this is more your arena, baby. This is your arena. This is your kind of chatter.
Yeah, to be honest with you, Ron's not here with us today, so I thought I'd bring it up and have no rebuttals about it. So that's why I mentioned it. But I don't know much about him. I'm excited that we're recruiting good, talented analysts to join and help us out. That's cool.
That's what it's all about, man. Get the home office support, as they say, right? We got to do cooking. Hopefully we get the Carlos Cuesta. Great pickup on coach. I've heard he's going to be potentially leaving soon. I think people know he's that guy. Yover, the set piece. Just add another item to our catalog. I like it.
Yeah, 100%. I don't really have any other transfer news. Have you come across anything, or should we wrap this one up?
I think it's time. I got to get home before this wind blows me away, man.
That's true, dude. All right. Well, with that, we'll thank everyone for spending time with us. And thanks for those of you who left a review and a rating last time. Got a little bump in that. And just hope you're all having a good week. Enjoy it. Enjoy some of this summer weather that we still have. It's winding down, man. It's almost that time.
Be easy.